first. You're watching Acadiana's KLAF News at 6.
Good afternoon. I'm Danielle Grossman. Thank you for choosing NBC's KLAF News at 6 tonight. We start you off with some very dramatic footage from parts of Louisiana that are still underwater after heavy rainfall continued overnight. This video you're about to see is from Denham Springs in Livingston Parish. Several roadways were closed, hundreds of vehicles submerged in the record-level floodwaters. The National Weather Service says some areas saw about 24 inches of rain in a 24-hour time period. So far, at least 2 people have died from the flooding and more than 1,000 people have been rescued from flooded homes and flooded cars. Earlier today, Governor John Bel Edwards declared a state of emergency for the entire state of Louisiana, asked residents to get to dry grounds or use precautions while traveling. Today, Governor John Bel Edwards traveled to Tangipahoa, St. Helena, and Livingston parishes to meet with emergency response officials and evaluate the state's response to this historic flooding. More than 1,000 National Guardsmen have been called to assist with the rescues and even evacuations. So far, like we said, more than 1,000 people rescued and about 100 animals across the state have been saved. Now today, Governor Edwards held a press conference addressing the historic flooding across South Louisiana and here in Acadiana, saying this is the worst flooding we have ever received. He went on to say because of this event, 18 parishes have also declared emergencies. 3 are in the process of declaring a state of emergency as well.
Truly historic situation as it relates to the weather. Obviously, this is the 3rd weather-related emergency or disaster that we've had this year. And while this flooding event is a smaller geographic area than what we had in March, it is a considerable part of the state. It extends basically from I-55 westward and will eventually get, we think, all the way to the state line. And because these are record floods, we don't know how wide the water is going to get in those areas. We don't. This is unprecedented, so we don't have records that we can go back and see who all is going to be impacted.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser also addressed the need for the community. Step up and help those in need right now if you can. If you're able to help or volunteer, just go to louisiana.gov. Many homeowners woke up this morning realizing very quickly just how fast the floodwater was rising. Some people returned this afternoon to find their house, that is, under 2 to 3 feet of water. As you can see here, this is a kayak, a homeowner going back into the house to try and find and retrieve some belongings they left in there. As you see, it's very dark. There's at least 5 feet of water in there.
Possibly 2? Yeah. Right.
Now, unfortunately, this is far too common for a lot of people right now in Acadiana, Lafayette, and across South Louisiana. Many people's homes filled with water. Right there, a car submerged in water fully. Look at the basketball hoop even there, trying to get around in kayaks and canoes. A lot of people have been doing this across the area. If you've seen the mailboxes even up to the brim with water. It's a very, very sad day here in Acadiana. If you need help, call Star LSP. Now, all day we've been getting photos and videos submitted to our Facebook page by you. Here are some of the pictures you're sending in. If you have any photos, please send them our way. You can send them to news@CajunFirst.com or submit them on our Facebook page. That's Acadiana's KLAF. And many people in Lafayette and beyond taking to social media with pictures and video. Here's Harrison Adams on Twitter with this video driving through Lafayette. Also on Twitter, we have Coach Andreas with more insane video. This is very dramatic footage. Then again, turn around, don't drown right here. Take a look at that truck trying to drive through the water. And lastly, out in Baton Rouge, we're about to show you a Ford F-150 truck totally submerged in water. It's absolute craziness here in Louisiana. Everyone, please stay safe out there. All right, switching gears. Of course, our team has been working around the clock to get you all of the latest coverage. Let's head over to Chris Welty in Lafayette, where the rain has not let up and the roadways continue to get worse. Chris?
Danielle, we're at Outback Steakhouse on Pinhook Road, and Outback literally is down under right now. The Vermilion River, if you take a look over this way, that's the Vermilion River. It's overflowed its banks. You may see that boat in the distance. Now, we talked to Lafayette Police earlier today. They say that boat was tied to the dock, but it has since broke loose. The boat is wedged in between some trees over there right by the Pinhook Bridge. But take a look over here. This is the Fairfield Inn and Suites. You can see that there's several cars parked back there, completely flooded in. We're told that they did rescue those people that were staying in the hotel earlier today. They have been since evacuated. Those cars definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. Every once in a while we'll hear one of the car alarms go off. And Phil, let's take a little walk down this way. Now, the Vermilion River, it has expanded not only from Outback, but all the way into this office building right here and really down to Chili's. That's pretty much how much the Vermilion River has overflown its banks and just flooded this whole area. Now, we have seen motorists out here taking pictures, slowing down on Pinhook. We've seen several near misses. So make sure that you're staying off the roads right now. It's definitely not safe to travel, and better yet, slowing down on Pinhook Road. Other cars may not see you stopping. You could easily get into an accident. Be very safe out there. Stay home, stay dry. And we're going to get back in the car in a second, and we'll take you to one of the other neighborhoods in this area affected by the Vermilion River. We're told that some homes right behind Blue Dog have nearly 4 feet of water inside. Reporting live in Lafayette, I'm Chris Welty for ACADIANA's KLAF News.
Out there, first responders and several Good Samaritans teamed up for rescues at that Fairfield Inn and Suites just off Pinhook, where Chris is right now. Around 11 a.m., residents used their boats to assist firefighters. They brought dozens of people to safety when it was coming down earlier. Carl Beckwith of Prairieville was staying in the first floor of the hotel with his wife when water quickly rose into their room.
You just wonder, what you gonna do, how you gonna get out, and it's a hell of an experience. Just a little bit going through here. This is not home. I can imagine what it'd be like if you're home with flood.
Scary moments. After escaping the hotel, Beckwith says he's going to take weather forecasts more seriously to avoid being future flooding situations. That is a good idea. All right, we'll be right back.
Thursday morning. That's what we're going to be dealing with all week.
I was actually coming in around 8 a.m. and it took me an hour and a half to go all the way through Milton from Youngsville to get here. It's normally a 20-minute drive, but because of the Vermilion River rising,
absolutely
very scary. And that was what, a long time ago. So imagine all of the rain dumping down now. It's just
all the way to next weekend. We're going to see an impact from what we've seen in the last 48 hours.
It's very tragic. Stay safe, and if you need help, dial 911.
Absolutely.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right after the break.
Live, local, and Cajun first. Acadiana's KLAF News at 6 continues.
Welcome back. Emergency officials are working around the clock to rescue those caught in rising water. Our Kristen Dre is live out in the field right now. Kristen, how high are the waters that you're in right now?
Danielle, waters have reached depths up to waist high. I'm here in Lafayette at the horse farm, where you can see behind me water is just swamped. I spoke with officials today, and they're working around the clock day and night. I spoke with Sheriff Mark Garber today about their tactics.
Of course, we had our cars were working just fine because the water was really low, middle of the day yesterday, or even Friday afternoon. But the cars and Explorers and Tahoes have gotten increasingly useless to us, and we're relegated to either boats or high water rescue vehicles. And a high water vehicle, we're using parish dump trucks. That's what we started out using. We got, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew that we were going to run out of use for our vehicles, so we had requested help from the National Guard, and they came through with 10 trucks, the light medium tactical vehicle trucks, and those are very, very helpful to us to get places, because a boat, sometimes it runs aground. It's tough to use a boat all the time. You have shallow areas and you have deeper areas, so at least with a high water vehicle we can cross the land, go up to someone's house and evacuate them to a checkpoint where we can then get them to the shelter.
Like Mark Garber said, they are urging all citizens to stay indoors to keep yourself from at risk of being swept away by these floodwaters. Live in Lafayette, I'm Kristen Dre for Acadiana's KLAF News.
Thank you, Kristen. In Lafayette Parish, the Sheriff's Office responded, like she said, to more than 270 rescues and answered more than 7,000 calls for assistance. In the entire parish of Lafayette, the Sheriff's Office has completed more than 260 medical rescues and 5 vehicle rescues, with probably more to come later tonight. Earlier today, Mayor Joel Robideau and Sheriff Mark Garber, like we just saw there, addressed the media about the weather event taking place right here in Acadiana. Here's what they had to say.
We're asking everybody to take the precautions. If they feel like they're in a dangerous situation or close to a dangerous situation already, then be prepared, because that situation in all likelihood is going to happen after midnight tonight. And so use the opportunity if there's a lull after 1 o'clock to get in touch with family, friends, make your way to the shelter so that we aren't trying to do a rescue at 2 o'clock in the morning.
The point from law enforcement's perspective is try to limit your movements. I understand people need to get to the store. Absolutely. You need to care for your children. People need baby formula. They need basic supplies. Get it done in the daytime. Get home, get buttoned up, get to a relative's house, somewhere out of this immediate area, and stay dry and take care of your children. Get them out of harm's way.
All right, officials closed many roads throughout Acadiana and across the state. Our Taylor Trichet was out in the streets where some of the worst flooding occurred earlier today and is going on right now. Taylor, I remember you telling me there was 5-foot-high waters. Is that right?
That's right, Danielle. I was on Kali's Saloon earlier today, and people told me the water was chest high. It was so high, in fact, the road closed signs were barely visible, and those good Samaritans went into those waters and moved those closer so motorists know not to go any further. So Tara, you just came back from the road closed signs from behind us, and I know the water was up to here, up to 5 feet deep. So tell me a little bit about what you saw back there.
This guy took off past us, and he didn't see the sign. He was on his phone. So we were like, dude, stop. And he started floating, and his vehicle spinning, and so JR, our friend, took off after him. So we took off back this way because there's no way. The vehicle is spinning.
The whole vehicle is spinning?
Yeah, it died out and it was spinning around. We ended up moving it that way, but it took us a while to get back over here because the water is getting the current's bad.
If you're driving on Kali's Saloon Road, try not to go past the Highland Apartments. The water over there is growing very, very rapidly. Try to stay inside and stay dry. Reporting live at the horse farm, Taylor Trichet for Acadiana's KLAF News.
Thank you, Taylor. That was proof right there that your car can go swimming, which is not a good thing. Well, sandbags are still available in several parishes if you need them and can get to them. Lafayette Parish residents can get sandbags at several locations, but you'll need to have your own manpower and your own shovel. St. Landry Parish and St. Martin Parish sandbags are available. Bring your shovel and be prepared to fill your own sandbags. They're also available in Brobridge. That's at 231 Refinery Street. People in Crowley can go get sandbags at Public Works. You must have a valid driver's license. For more information on more of these locations, head over to our Facebook page. That's KLAF or CajunFirst.com.
Brobridge.
This is Brobridge, actually, a bridge where there's extreme flooding. It's actually a few inches over. There's no way any cars are getting through there. We had a crew out there earlier today, and it was very hard to see even over. It's probably a few inches more now that the rain keeps coming down. We're not sure what it's at right now, but we would recommend do not drive that direction. If you need to cross the bridge, try to go an alternate route.
Of course I would.
All right, we'll be right back.
So it's covered the bridge now, and that's some of our great workers doing a great job. That oak tree is probably easy 8 foot. Easily 8 foot. Below the water. Amazing. Amazing. They're brand new boat dock. You can see through the trees. It's now floating.
And Cajun First, Acadiana's KLAF News at 6 continues.
Welcome back. Officials are continuing to urge people stay off the roads. They have put a curfew in place in certain areas as well as here in Lafayette. Lafayette Parish curfew has been set 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. tomorrow. This curfew applies to and will be enforced in all municipalities, including Broussard, Carencro, Dusson, Lafayette, Scott, and Youngsville. The nighttime curfews apply for all citizens. Non-essential business operations should be suspended from 7 p.m. tonight till 6 a.m. in the morning of August 14th. Drivers or individuals who are seen on the streets are subject to enforcement action. In Iberia Parish, 12-hour curfews in place, 7 to 7. St. Martin's curfew goes into effect at 8 this evening, lasts until 6 in the morning. Officials ask that everyone avoid the roads as much as possible. They're receiving numerous calls in regards to vehicles in the roadways pushing water into residents' homes and businesses. In Acadia Parish, the entire parish is under curfew from now until 5 tomorrow morning. However, Crowley Police Chief Jimmy Broussard has issued a curfew for motorists in Crowley that went into effect earlier at noon today. For those that would like to help, the United Way of Acadiana is accepting donations. The Greater Acadiana United Way Disaster Fund has been launched to leverage resources. Its goal is to make the greatest impact in flooding recovery efforts for our community. Your contribution goes to make the greatest possible impact and advance the common good by helping the parishes of Southwest Louisiana. To donate, go to their website, donate.unitedwayofacadiana.org, or you can text key code FLOOD 2016 to 41444. Again, key code FLOOD 2016 41444. The Coast Guard rescued 5 people in the Baton Rouge area today. An air crew with the Coast Guard in New Orleans rescued 2 adults and their 6-year-old child from their home and evacuated them to the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport. A second air crew rescued 2 women in the Baton Rouge area, evacuated them to the Baton Rouge Metro Airport as well. So far today, 10 people, 2 animals were rescued in Tangipahoa, 18 people and 2 animals in Livingston, and 25 and 12 animals in East Baton Rouge Parish. Search and rescue operations continue by the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. And Tangipahoa, 117 people, 23 animals. Washington, 3 people. Livingston, 48 and growing. St. Helena, 25. East Baton Rouge, 77 people have been rescued, 23 animals. Iberia Parish, 30 people and 2 animals. Lafayette, so far, 83 people. That number is growing, that is for sure. 25 animals. East Feliciana, 49 people have been rescued. 5 animals also rescued there. West Feliciana, 2, Vermilion, 4, and 2 animals in Vermilion as well. Now, these devastating floodwaters have taken the life of a Greensburg man. According to state police, a vehicle in LA-10 at Darlings Creek was submerged in floodwaters. Troopers identified the victim as 54-year-old Samuel Muse. Detectives believe Muse was traveling west on LA-10 in a pickup truck when he tried to travel through high water. Yet again, why we tell you not to travel through these waters. During the investigation, there were several feet of water crossing LA-10 and Muse's vehicle was not visible. His body was recovered by the St. Helena Parish Fire District 4 and the cause of the crash is unknown. However, state police advise motorists do not attempt to drive through high water. Pay attention to the road closed detour signs. Do not pass them. They're there for a reason. They also ask that you travel only if necessary. And now this disturbing scene out of Walker, Louisiana, caskets floating in floodwater. The video was captured as some people were visiting the gated cemetery to check on loved ones. A state of emergency has been declared by the governor. Like we said, the rain is in the forecast for several more days and it could only get worse. Again, we're going to show you this dramatic video of parts of Louisiana that remain underwater after this heavy rainfall across the state, especially here in Acadiana and Baton Rouge. Several roadways closed, hundreds of vehicles submerged. This should put it in perspective for you how bad it is across our state. The record level floodwaters continuing to grow. The National Weather Service says some areas saw about 24 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. And it's just as bad here in Acadiana. Please stay off the roads. The rain is expected to continue through Sunday, like Jordan said. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us during this special one-hour show on our record flooding here in Acadiana across the state. We're continuing the coverage of this flooding. All right, now we're going to head over to Chris Welty. He's live near the Blue Dog Cafe in Lafayette on Keller Street. Chris, what's it like out there right now? We're having some audio difficulties. We'll get back with him in just a few minutes. Obviously, it is still raining and flooding over there, too. Well, the flooding caused multiple school closures around Acadiana Friday, and many of those will continue Monday. All campuses of Ascension Episcopal School will be closed Monday. St. Peter and Paul Catholic School in Scott closed. First Baptist Christian School in downtown Lafayette will be closed as well, and Lafayette Public Schools closed Monday. Parents of pre-K and kindergarten students who were scheduled for testing Monday will receive further information on the rescheduling of their children. Also in Lafayette, all 3 Lafayette General Urgent Care Centers are closed. This includes the Sugar Mill Pond, River Ranch, and Karen Crow locations. If you or anyone you know is in need of medical assistance, please call 911. All Lafayette Public Library locations are closed today and tomorrow. Any library materials that were due back Saturday or Sunday can be returned when the library reopens without a penalty. They're expected to reopen Monday, but ask that people visit their social media pages for any updates throughout the rest of the weekend. Lafayette Transit buses will continue suspended service today. Officials are evaluating roadway conditions, of course. By the hour, they'll let the public know when service resumes. At the present time, the buses are being used to assist with safe evacuation of citizens to the Red Cross shelter at the Hyman Center. LTS buses will also provide transportation to the Red Cross shelter from Acadiana Mall or the Karen Crow Community Center. A message for Republic Services and Waste Management customers. Trash pickup services are suspended for another day because of weather. Both companies are working with officials to ensure trash is picked up as soon as possible. Republic may begin picking trash up as early as Sunday, hopefully. All right, now let's head over to Chris again. Our audio issues have been solved. Let's check in with him and see how it's going over there by the Blue Dog Cafe in Lafayette. Chris, how's it looking?
Danielle, we're live on South Audubon Boulevard, just off of Pinhook Road behind Blue Dog Restaurant. And now we saw this newspaper floating along in the water. It says thousands flooded, and that situation is not going to change anytime soon. We were live here around 4 o'clock earlier today, and the water was not this high. The house right there to my right, Phil, if you could get the camera and pan over. The water is up to maybe the first step. Up right now, the water's up several steps, and the water is only continuing to rise. Now, residents that we spoke with say further in the back of this neighborhood,
Do you want to move the shelter thing to another block? So where are we? So confused.
Still nothing on the road here.
Okay.
Hold on. Here we go, we're back. Both of them? Yeah. Hey, we got those screens back. Do you want me to stay on this shot that Doug put here? I can go back? I can go back, okay. What do I just? We're going back. Okay.
And now, Acadiana's Storm Team Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jordan Sandler.
All right, heavy showers no longer affecting Acadiana, but the problem is after the 40 hours of rain that we've got and all the flooded roads, even the little stuff, even the little green stuff out here causes some flash floods, and that's why we have a flash flood watch all the way until 2 a.m., those curfews in place. Definitely need to stay off the roads, but here is where there's more water being added to the already flooded roads. Right down here, St. Martinville, Broussard, you finally got out of it. Cade, going all the way down south of Youngsville, and Youngsville, finally, you're not seeing an additional rain added to your already flooded streets. Erath, you're getting a lot of it. Unfortunately, it looks like New Iberia, you might get some more of this swath. 90 is already flooded in many areas, and that's going to be getting some more. Let's take a look up north, because this is the one area where we're seeing, so right here, I got to say, Vermilion Parish, you guys are looking good. You guys are going to start drying out through this evening. Not seeing anything come in for the next 3 hours for you. This is the area here I'm a little concerned about where we could start getting some more deluges coming in. Ville Platte all the way up, northern St. Landry Parish, Chateauguay, and then the heavy storms right over here. There have been some severe thunderstorm warnings out by East Texas. Lake Charles now getting the storms. You can see the evolution of the system, how it's been pushing west. That's a good sign for us. We're not going to be getting this kind of heavy stuff for the most part through tomorrow. It's going to be focused Lake Charles getting up toward Fort Polk, and it's already starting to push that direction. But still, any little rain, any light showers that we could get the rest of the night will cause some additional flooding on the roads. So flash flood warning until 2 a.m., flash flood watch until 7 a.m. Pretty much it just means stay inside. We could still see a lot more of this. These were the rain totals yesterday. Record day, record August in 11 hours. Yesterday for New Iberia, 13 inches, 10 inches for Lafayette. For Lafayette, just some historical context. This yesterday was the third rainiest day ever for the city of Lafayette. The fourth rainiest day, 9.9 inches, and let's see what we're up to today. We're almost there, 9.44. Today could be the fourth rainiest day ever for Lafayette, maybe even the third or the second by the end of it. Nevertheless, 20 inches is what we've got in the hub city over the last 40 hours. Crazy. New Iberia over 20, Abbeville 14, and around 13 and a half for Opelousas. So things are going to calm down about 12 hours from now. Unfortunately, until we get there, we're still looking at the potential for 2 to 5 inches of rain. The model shows another 5 inches for New Iberia. Most of it is probably going to come here, unfortunately, Youngsville, Broussard, all the way down through Abbeville, Kaplan, another 4.5, 2.5 for Lafayette. After we get past this 12 to 15 hours, we're going to calm down ever so slightly. The roads are going to remain flooded all through tomorrow. Here's the big system already starting to track beyond Acadiana. Here's the center of it, and it's going to be going this way, northwest, all the way through the next 48 hours, giving East Texas some rain, Lake Charles, Fort Polk some rain. We're going to get some more rain tomorrow. Here's what we're looking at the next 3 days, and this is important because we need some sunshine in order to evaporate the floods on this road, and we can't get much more rain. But unfortunately, tomorrow, looking at 2 to 5 inches. Most of this is going to come in the morning, and then looking at an all-day drizzle with overcast skies. We will see the sun again on Monday. We're going to get some sun breaks on Monday. Back to our normal system where we get those afternoon to evening thunderstorms coming on through. Maybe half an inch to an inch. Unfortunately, still going to add to the already flooded roads that we have out there. By Tuesday, most of the roads probably are going to be receding a little because we're going to get some more sunshine through the day. And then those afternoon thunderstorms going to be coming in, maybe gives us up to another inch for Tuesday. It's going to be a rainy week, but tomorrow is the one where we're probably going to see the roads stay flooded. Not going to be receding much from what we already have today because we're going to get that all-day drizzle after those heavy morning rains. And then we got more rain this week, unfortunately. So we do get those sun breaks Monday. We're going to get a little better as we get through the rest of the week. But all the way until Thursday, we have flood warnings for rivers, the Vermilion, by Carencrow, by the Surrey Street Gauge, Mermentau River over near Jeff Davis Parish. All of these rivers are beyond major flood stages that we've never seen before, and that's going to stay flooded for the areas around there until maybe Thursday morning at least. So this is something we're going to be dealing with all the way until next week.
I heard you say that we might get some sun on Monday, which is good news. We could use it. Yes. I think a lot of us have been cooped up inside, and we need it for sure.
Absolutely.
And a lot of us here at the station might not be making it home tonight because of the flooding outside. So
might be a good idea not to be on the roads.
I agree.
We'll see. Yeah, right. Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. Thank you, Jordan. All right, stay with us for more after the break. The rain continues, the roadways continue to flood. Our Taylor Trichet was out in Acadiana all day today. Taylor, tell me some of the things you've seen out there today on the roads.
Danielle, I'm currently at the horse farm, and if you can see behind me, the water is actually going through the fences and flooding the grass. We also drove around town all day today. We saw numerous closed road signs and barricades. We actually had to turn around because we didn't even want to risk getting stuck. But here are some of my favorite shots of today that will just show you how high the water got. Here's a playground right off of the Evangeline Thruway. The water is more than halfway up the playground equipment, and the seats of the swings are completely submerged in water. Another shot was at a mobile RV park. I hope all these people made it out safely, but water is submerging the smaller cars and creeping up the sides of the motorhomes. And if you tuned in earlier, Kali Saloom Road was blocked off, so I wouldn't recommend going past the Highland apartment complex because any further down, you're going to be in chest-deep water. Reporting live from Horse Farm, Taylor Trichet for Acadiana's KLAF News.
Thank you, Taylor. All right, many homeowners woke up this morning realizing very quickly just how fast that floodwater was rising. Very scary. Some people returned this afternoon to find their houses, that is, under 2 to 3, even 5 feet of water. Take a look. Now, this is a neighborhood by the Blue Dog Cafe over by Pinhook. They have to travel by canoe and by kayak to get into their house. Now, these people right here had to re-enter their home, as you see right here, to retrieve some of their belongings. Clearly, over 5 feet of water, almost up to his waist there, as you saw. Couches floating, pillows floating. Take a listen. Now, some of these homeowners leaving with only a backpack of clothing. I mean, everything was just floating. It's very devastating, and this is far too common for a lot of people here in Acadiana and across South Louisiana right now. Many people have feet of water in their homes. Many people have been evacuated. We are sending our prayers and thoughts with you. Please try to find safe shelter, dry land, and try to go with any family members. As you see right here, the mailboxes are almost covered completely with water. This video was only shot a few hours ago when clearly the rain stopped just for a little bit. All right, well, in Lafayette Parish, the American Red Cross has set up a temporary emergency shelter at the Hyman Convention Center. That's in the 1300 block of South College Road. In Iberia Parish, you can head to the Sour Gates Community Center at 300 Parkview Drive. And for people in Vermilion Parish, head to the Abbeville Boys and Girls Club at 301 AA Como Memorial Drive in Lafayette. People who have been evacuated because of flooding need state-issued ID. You should all bring essentials for each member of the family. Pack up a bag if you can. Pets can't be brought to shelter, but there is a pet shelter that's at Plackham Coliseum. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us during this special one-hour show tonight. We're continuing, of course, our coverage of the flooding and the rain across Acadiana and South Louisiana. All right, we're going to head over again to our Chris Welty. He is still in that neighborhood by the Blue Dog Cafe in Lafayette where the water is waist high. Right now, it's actually past his knees. Chris, how's it looking out there?
Danielle, we're on South Audubon Boulevard in Lafayette, right behind Blue Dog Cafe off of Pinhook Road. Now, this area is completely flooded. We're told that the water further back there, closer to the Vermilion River, goes about 4 to 5 feet deep. Now, residents have been out here all day. They're trying to gather their belongings, clothes. They say that this is the highest they've ever seen the water. Now, this area is more like a boat launch as people are constantly bringing in their boats. And Phil, let's take a little walk over this way. And people have been loading up their boats all day, and we're going to try talking to this gentleman right here. Sir, we're live on TV, and I saw you had several boats full of belongings. What's it like back there?
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad right now. It started to recede a little bit, but in the last, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, it's started coming back up. So we're just trying to grab what we can. We started moving stuff upstairs, and that's it. I mean, with this curfew, we got to get out of here. So.
And earlier this morning, what was it like? Was it nearly this steep?
I got here around 10:30. And this is about where it was when I got here this morning. And then, like I said, it went down, it kind of crested for a little bit and started going down.
Most of us A lot of flooded roads till Monday.
Yeah, and stay tuned to Acadiana's KLAF and CajunFirst.com for all the latest. Have a good night and please be safe out there, guys.